And she tried to do this bullshit that my generation does, where they like make you feel good about yourself for no fucking reason.
And I remember sitting there and I remember being like, wow, don't remove the lid to the toilet and don't buy hookers and I'll be fine. It'll be great. And then he was like, I don't know which one the router is.
And then she fucking yelled at me.
She
was like, what the fuck? You're fucking useless. What's up, guys? Welcome back to this podcast. My name is Oscar. This is my sister, Sofia. I don't know why she's doing the fucking intro today. She never does it. It's my job. She's just trying to piss me off. That's why she's laughing.
This is the Hits Podcast. HTS.
No I. I'm Oscar. This is my sister,
This is
Sofia.
She's so sexy and amazing.
This is our podcast. It's called The Hits Podcast. Thank you for joining us. If this is the first episode you see, I apologize for Sofia. Don't know what the fuck she's on today. We're going to try and have a good time. Anyways.
I'm on the good shit.
Guys.
Anyways, you ready?
It is currently 2:58 p.m.
2:58 p.m.
Shut the fuck up. Stop.
It is.
Stop fucking repeating everything I'm saying. I'll deal with it for the gimmick of the fucking intro. You better shut up. I'm so fucking annoyed already. Shut up.
It's actually
no, it's not.
2:58 p.m. Thank you very much.
You know what the problem is? I had to realize that you were still fucking mimicking me. Like I was just talking and then I'm just used to Sofia being her stupid annoying self that I had to realize like this motherfucker is still saying everything I'm saying, just clouding this shit up fucking annoyingly. Anyways,
you guys ready to talk about some fun stuff?
Guys, it's 2:58 p.m. 2:50. It's still 2:58. Holy shit. Anyways, 2:58 p.m.
4:58
on a Sunday. On a Sunday.
On a
right?
Sunday. I swear that
I know you didn't even realize it. You're so fucking stupid and annoying. You didn't even realize you were doing it all over again.
I just want to be you so bad because you're my older brother.
I can't fucking stand you.
Thing.
Shut up.
I'm sorry.
Shut up. Shut up. You're so fucking annoying. Anyways, it's 2:58 p.m. on a Sunday. Sofia and I normally record 10 a.m. my time, noon her time on Sundays. I woke up today. I was chilling, tried to sleep in because I don't sleep well. So I tried to just give myself ample opportunity to actually fall asleep. Whatever. Get up. I'm like, oh, it's almost time. Gotta go get ready for the podcast. Brush my teeth. Eat, do this, do that. Blah, blah, blah. I'm chilling. I call Sofia. I always call Sofia 15 to 30 minutes before we start recording. Just to kind of like, okay, ready to go. Blah, 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 blah. This, and that. Then we start recording, right? I called her today. She didn't fucking answer. Strike one, right? I chilled out because I was like, if she didn't answer, it's for a reason. She's busy. Don't know why. We record at 10 a.m. Sundays. We'll see. Less than a minute later, she calls me back. That's why it's strike one, because she wasn't fucking busy. She was just ignoring me. Anyways, she calls back. And then I was like, are you ready? But I FaceTimed her. She called me back. That was already suspicious, right? I was like, are you ready to record the podcast? Because that's what I say every Sunday morning when she answers, when I call her, when we're going to fucking record the podcast.
He does. He's like, are you ready? He says it like that.
No, like,
are you ready?
No, like encouragingly.
Are you ready?
Encouragingly, not aggressively. Anyways.
That's how it sounds.
I was like, are you ready? And she was like, oh, I'm so fucking cool. And I have so many fucking friends and I have so much shit to do that I completely forgot about the one and only thing you and I do every single week for the last fucking year and a half. And I'm on my way to the mall right now to hang out with all my cool friends. Sorry, hung up on me. It was fucking bullshit.
Okay, now let me tell you what actually happened. I called him back and I was like, he was like, are you ready? And I was like, no. I'm sorry. Because, see, the thing is, guys, I work every other week. I work 10-hour shifts. So every other week, I'll get an extra day off. So this week, I happen to get a 3-day weekend. So I know that we record on Sunday. But to me, this isn't my Sunday because I have tomorrow off still. So in my head, I was like, it's not recording day. You know what I mean? And I was like, and I'm explaining this to Oscar. I'm explaining this to Oscar, and I'm like, I'm sorry. I'm already on the way to the mall. Could you go do something for like a couple hours and then come back? I am.
This is the only thing I have to look forward to every week. No, I'm just kidding. I got something on Saturday too.
Okay, good. I was like, that's kind of sad.
But anyways, so I had
But
to
I
go
love you,
fuck
Pookie.
myself for 3 hours, right? And then
Nah, I
here's the
got him.
problem.
I got
Here's
him.
the problem. Here's the problem. Yeah, this son of a bitch, she did get me. She tried to save face, and she tried to do this bullshit that my generation does, where they like make you feel good about yourself for no fucking reason, right? You totally haven't earned it. She was like, nah, but like, I mean, what are you gonna do? And I was like, I don't know. I guess I'll go to the gym. I might eat something because I haven't eaten. She was like, yeah, you should eat something. And she was like, you should go out to eat, and you should get a hamburger because yeah, you should treat yourself. You should get a hamburger because you've been craving hamburgers, because I told her the last 2 days. And like, you know, you already tried some other stuff, but like that stuff was all right. So you should treat yourself and, you know, get yourself a nice good hamburger. And I was like, I did. I got
should.
McDonald's yesterday because I didn't want to spend that much money, and I didn't want to think like go all the way to the hamburger place, but it wasn't that good. And she was like, see, fuck that bullshit McDonald's. You should get a hamburger.
Get a real
And then
hamburger.
I was like, nah, but I already ate out twice this weekend, and I tried to limit my eating out to like twice a week so I could stick to my diet and shit. And she was like, well, you know what? Fuck all those other hamburgers. You should make yourself.
Make your own.
She was like, because you
but
know
like,
you're so good. She's like, you're so
good.
good at cooking. You could just buy the stuff, and then you can make it exactly like you want.
And then
it'll be
be healthy
delicious,
because it's
and
homemade.
then it'll be healthier because it's homemade. And by the end
cheaper.
of all this bullshit, I was like, I should do that for myself. And I bought the shit. I went to the store and I bought all the shit. And I'm so looking forward to my fucking hamburger in 3 hours. And I'm so pissed because I'm like, she just
because it worked.
She just gentle parented me or some shit. Like, fucking dickhead.
What can I say? I'm just that bitch, I guess. I don't know.
I had to go to the store anyways because there was some shit that I tried to buy yesterday for the week that wasn't there because Target just randomly doesn't have shit. And then I was like, I gotta go to the store anyways. I have to do my laundry. I can't go to the gym yet because I haven't done my laundry. I was planning on doing it this morning while we recorded the podcast and then going to the gym afterwards. I guess I'll do it now. I'll put it to wash. I'll go to the store while it's washing. Might as well buy the stuff while I'm there.
Anyways, I got this hat when I went to the mall. I also
don't
got
say
books.
what it is. If you know what it is, you're the shit. You're my friend. We should hang out. If you don't know what it is, go fuck
It's yourself. A purple shit. Anyways,
and if you know what this is, damn it, it's backwards. I always forget that my camera records backwards and I don't flip it when I do the editing. But if you can put it together, I do it on purpose because I don't want to forget to flip it and then it looks shitty. You know what I mean? Like, anyways, if you know what it is, you're also cool.
Do you want to see the book? I go into Barnes and Nobles too. You want to see the book I bought?
No, I don't want to see the.
Too bad.
I don't want to see the things.
You're gonna see it.
I don't want to see the result of your great time without me. Oh my god, I'm such a woman.
Too bad. I know.
You can tell I don't have any brothers.
I didn't do good enough raising you. My
god, that was so funny. I don't want to see the results of your good time without me. I saw a video yesterday where some girl was recording her and her boyfriend. I don't like couples that like. I can enjoy couples that make just content in general, like Megan and Jack. Like, they're pretty funny. But then the couples that make content, but the content is specifically like the girl like getting mad at the boyfriend over everything, even if it's fake and shit, like I don't really like that shit. But anyways, and vice versa, like the couples that just are always fighting with each other on video for like whatever bit, like, I don't like that shit either. Anyways, there was some girl yesterday and she was like,
this is the book I got.
Hey, I'm in the middle of my story. Hold on.
I was in the middle of my story before you cut into the middle of my story.
Yeah, but we're in halftime right now, bro. You gotta wait till halftime's over, then we can get back to the game, all right?
Oh!
So,
it's okay, you're editing it.
She was like, yeah. So, she was like, we're gonna go get ice cream for dinner because we have free will. And it was her and her boyfriend. And then the boyfriend was like, I don't want ice cream. And she was like, you don't want ice cream with me? And then he was like, no, like, I'll take you to get some, but like, I'm not eating any. Like, I don't want any. And then she was like,
betrayal.
No, I don't want to go then. And then the comments where everybody's like, it's not about the ice cream. She just wants to spend quality time with you. And then dudes are like, he offered to take her and be there with her. If it's not about the ice cream, why can't he just be there? That's quality time.
Because he's calling her a fat
that's
bitch.
The definition of quality time.
He doesn't want it, okay?
Shit, right? Anyways, and I was like, ugh, bitches, right? But then I do this bullshit right now where I was like, I don't want to see the results of your good time without me.
Yeah,
Anyways,
because you're a bitch.
it just
Anyways,
reminded me of that. That was funny.
this is what I got. Tender is the flesh.
I've heard that name before.
Ooh. Ah. Oh.
I don't like the cover.
Anyways, too bad.
You know, Sophia
This is what it's about. Do you
picks
want me to read
books
you
to
the
read.
synopsis?
You know, Sophia picks books to read based off the cover.
Not just the cover and the synopsis.
No.
The cover draws
is
my eye.
the first and only thing that will like get her to read the synopsis, and then if she likes the synopsis, then she'll read it. So she picks
That's
books
true.
off the cover.
But only when it's like physical books. My Kindle books is a whole other thing. Anyways, you want to hear the synopsis?
No, I really don't. But maybe some asshole in
The synopsis
some
is...
asshole that's watching right now wants to hear it.
Okay. Working at the local processing plant, Marcos is in the business of slaughtering humans, though no one
What the
calls
fuck?
them that
Hold on.
anymore.
What?
I know! I know! But wait!
She's
there's
so
more.
excited. She's so excited.
His wife has left him. His father is sinking into dementia, and Marcos tries not to think too hard
Marcos
about
or
how he
Marcus?
makes a living.
I thought you said
Marcos. After all,
He's Mexican.
it happened so quickly. Now he is. First, it was reported that an infectious virus had made all animal meat poisonous to humans. Le gasp. Then, governments initiated the transition, quote unquote.
It's a book about trans
Now,
people.
stupid. Now, eating human meat, special meat, is legal. Marcos tries to stick to numbers, some word I don't know how to say, and processing. Then, one day, he's giving a gift. A live specimen of the finest quality, though he's aware that any form of personal contact is forbidden on pain of death. Little by little, he starts to treat her like a human being.
He falls in love with some bitch that he's supposed to chop up and feed.
And soon he becomes tortured by what he has been lost. And soon he becomes tortured by what has been lost and what might still.
That's stupid.
Be
That just tells the
saved.
whole thing. That's dumb.
No, it's not. No,
He
because if it's
processes
saying
people,
that much,
then he meets a girl, then he loves her, and then she dies, and she gets processed along with everybody else. And then he really realizes how fucked up the whole system is.
Nah. The thing is,
I don't want to read that shit.
That's too simple. Because the synopsis doesn't give everything away. That's the whole point. So there's clearly more to it.
Nah. Sophia, stop fucking with your hair. I told you it looks fine already.
I didn't like how that looked, so I fixed it.
I don't care.
Anyways.
That's such a bitchy thing to say, bro. I'm so fucking... Here's the thing. I know that I'm not the most masculine guy, right? I'm fairly masculine in certain ways. But I know that I'm very feminine. But I think I sometimes realize how much more feminine I am. I think I'm more feminine than I realize sometimes. Because when you were like, I didn't like it, and I said I don't care, I fucking meant that. Like,
I know.
You know what I mean? And that's such like a mean girl thing to say. Like, it looks good like this. Stop fucking it up. Like,
anyways.
Nah, but that's the problem. That's another thing I was going to talk about. Right now, Sophia was debated on putting on the hat or not. Then she put it on. Then she didn't like the way she looked. Then I knew it was because her hair was sticking out. Then she was like, nah, I don't know. I don't think hats are for me. And I was like, just put it on. You look fine. And then she was like, and I was like, you're just worried about your hair. And then she puts it on. She's like, should I put it like over my ear or behind my ear? And then I was like, either one. It looks fine. And then she was like, ugh. Like that wasn't an answer. And then she puts it behind her ears. Yes, it is. Then she puts it behind her ears. And I was like, no, put it over. It looks better. And then she's like, what about my headphones?
That's an answer.
And then I was like, yeah, leave it. And then she was fucking with it. And I was like, stop doing that. It looks fine the way it is. And then she kept fucking with it. This is what I'm talking about when I say Sophia doesn't listen to me. Like, doesn't value my opinion. Because she just does whatever she wants. You know what I mean?
Oh, boo.
Stop eating cuties wrong. Already established the way we eat them on this channel.
You're a fucking psycho. That's what we've established. And a bitch. That's what you established. Anyways.
That was unnecessary.
Moving on.
All right, should we get into the topics for today?
No.
Also, Sophia got that hat that she's wearing just recently. And she was going to put it on today when we were getting ready. And she was like, hey, I got this hat. And if you don't get where it is, you suck. Right? And then she put it on. And I was like, oh my God, it's this. And then she was like, super cool, right? And I was like, super cool. And then I was like, I'm gonna steal it from you next time I visit. And then she
And
was
then
like,
I was like,
it's not gonna
won't
fit your big ass head because I do have a big ass head, and I've worn the same size hat as I was wearing the same size hat as my dad when I was like 11, and now my
Oscar
hats don't fit him.
canonically has a big ass head. Like,
You say canonically?
yeah.
That's not canon, Sophia. That's just that is.
No, it's canon.
No, it's not. It just is. It's real. It happened. It's here. I said it. Like,
It's canon.
and that's not how it works.
To the
Anyways,
people.
so
It is
then
now.
so then I was like, I'm gonna steal it. She's like, it's not gonna fit your big ass head, and I was like, I don't give a fuck. I'm gonna steal it anyways, just to keep it.
That's
Anyway,
what he thinks.
let me tell you. Oh my god. Okay, I have a few stories about the gym this week. I have a friend that I met at the gym. Right?
What?
Well, I don't know if we're technically friends yet. We haven't like hung
Oh.
out or anything, but like I have his number, and like I talk to him when I see him there. Right? Anyways.
And they kiss occasionally.
You're fucking stupid. So there was a day, there was like Tuesday or Monday or something, right? I was at the gym,
Yeah.
and then I walk out to go to my car to get something, and when I walk outside, he was recording something with like another one of his homies, right? Like they were clearly
Mhm.
recording for like the vlog or something, and his back was facing me. So then I saw that they were recording, and I saw the dude was recording, and I was like, oh shit, I'm gonna come out in the vlog. And I was like, cool. And in the
Where'd you go?
background, I was like,
I fucking knew.
right?
I knew.
and I like just in passing, and then I kept walking, right? Cool. That was that. Then on like Thursday, I watched his YouTube video, like he released the vlog, right? I
He cut
watched
you out
it,
or what?
and I didn't realize that that part was going to be in there, right? So I watched it, and then in the beginning of the vlog, he's talking about this, talking about that, blah 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 blah. Then he cuts into a little segment, and he's talking about all the fucking protests and all the like
you
ICE raids
fucking
and all the
idiot.
immigration and the No
Oh
Kings
my
protests.
God.
And like, if you guys
And
know
then
anybody
you
that's
come out,
affected,
oh,
if you guys need any information, if you want to equip yourselves with like knowledge, I have a link issued by like given to me by an official immigration lawyer. It's in the fucking description. Go, prep yourself, equip yourself with knowledge, know your rights, blah 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 blah. And I'm in the fucking background doing this shit.
nah, you're Mexican. It's okay. You can get away
It
with
was
it.
so funny. It was so funny to
That
me.
is funny.
And then I paused it and I took a picture and I sent it to him, and I was like, bro, I didn't know it was such a serious part of the video.
My bad.
And he was like, yo, that's actually hilarious. Like, anyways, that happened.
That's funny.
I'll include some pictures.
That's funny. Okay, ready?
What? Oh, you have stuff to say?
Yeah, I have
Okay.
3 things to say.
Oh,
I
fuck.
said at the beginning of the video, 3 things. You ready?
I'm ready to go.
All right. I'm gonna start with a fun little story of my childhood, just because I saw a TikTok of the show that I used to watch, and I'm like, I forgot about that. Oh yeah, I remember that. So, do you remember the 1,000 Ways to Die show?
I remember it was a show, but I never watched it.
Okay,
You watched
I
that
used to
show?
watch it. Yeah, I love that
Without
show.
mom's permission, I presume.
I'm assuming, because thinking back to it, I was like, I don't know who let me watch that show.
That
I
show was
think it
popular when I was
probably-
in like when you were in like fucking third,
I
fourth,
was
fifth
little.
grade. Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know when I would watch it, because my mom wouldn't even let me watch that 70s show, and 1,000 Ways to Die
Sophia's
is way
always
worse than
been
that.
Sophia's always been a hooligan that can't follow the rules. Go ahead.
Anyways, but I never got caught, because I never, like, no one ever told me not to watch it, but I used to watch it and I liked it, right? And then there was this one episode. Well, you don't know, but like in the comments, tell me if you remember this. One of the episodes, let me paint the picture for you, okay? There's this guy. He's at the club, dancing, right? He turns around. He sees this lady,
You're so
and she's
fucking
like,
stupid, dude.
"Wait, I'm still talking."
Fucking-
He sees this lady. She's all schmexy, and he's like, "Oh," and she's all like, "Ah," And then like they go, and then you find out like in the thing, she's like, "Yeah, you want an hour with me? It's gonna be $100, because she's a hooker or a prostitute, whatever you want to call them, right?" And so he was like, "Baby girl, I'm rich. Here's the money." And then he's like, "Let's go fuck." And they're like, "Where do we fuck?" And they go to the bathroom.
This was in like fifth grade.
So they go to the bathroom. And then things are getting hot and heavy, and they're all like smooching, right? And like, I don't remember why, but like, I think he like lifted her on like the toilet, but not the seat, like the other part where the little flush is, right? And then he was gonna, yeah, and then he was gonna move her like from that, but then like he accidentally like grabbed the tank or something. I can't remember exactly how it happened, but the lid to the tank comes off and then it falls, like it breaks. I think they might have just broken the toilet. I think they were just fucking too hard on the toilet and then it broke. But anyways, point is the tank lid comes off, breaks on the floor into a bunch of shards, right? And then he's like, oh fuck, I fucked too hard, right? But then he slips, and he falls and he lands on one of the shards that was like this up his booty hole. Like he literally like pierces himself with
what the fuck is this show, dude?
He pierces himself with this thing and then he dies. And then that's like the episode, right? Or like that little segment of the episode.
Dude, the only thing I remember, here's the thing. I never watched that show, but people would talk about it like at school. And the only thing I know of it or remember of it is that it was fucking stupid shit like that, where it was like, yeah, you could be walking down the street and then trip, and then a car's passing by and it runs over your head. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah.
Not actually educational of like, there's this bug and it has this rare fucking venom.
Anyways, he slips, he pierces his booty hole with a shard, and he dies. And the episode ends. And I remember sitting there, and I remember being like, wow, don't remove the lid to the toilet, and don't buy hookers, and I'll be fine. It'll be great.
That's gonna be on the intro.
And guess what? I
don't buy hookers. I'll be fine.
And it's worked. I'm still alive.
What was the point of this topic?
It was funny.
What do you know? You said you saw something that reminded you of that.
Oh, I was just scrolling on TikTok, and then like it was like
a clip of the show.
A little intro came. Yeah, and I was like, I forgot about that. Oh yeah, and then I remembered that, and then I typed it in the notes. Yeah.
Okay, well that was nice. Anyways, what I did watch as a child was Scarred on MTV. It come out late as fuck. Did you ever watch that?
Explain it a little.
So Scarred, MTV at the time, it was like Rob Dyrdek, Fantasy Factory, like Nitro Circus, all that type of stuff, right? And so it was all like, what are they? I guess they're technically sports, like skateboarding and BMX riding and motocross and this and that and whatever. So Scarred was a show where they would kind of tell the little story or like a little documentary-ish. It was like a retelling actually of people that would fuck themselves up skateboarding, BMX bike riding, whatever, this or that.
I don't think I saw that.
And so it was always some shit like some dude was skateboarding and then he tried to do this jump off of this stairs and then this and that happened and he fucking broke his hand. And then they'll show the videos that they had, like the actual footage of when it happened, where like he fell in this and then his arm was broken and then his fucking bone was sticking out here and like all sorts of crazy shit, right? And Big O, the thing is like I was the kid and I was always the one that wanted to watch it, and Big O was always like, oh, why do you like watching this shit? Like, it looks terrible. It's fucking terrible. Yeah. Or like, this shit's gross. Or there was one where like the little circle bones in his hand broke, and on the back of his hand there was two little like craters, and then he turned his hand around and his two bones were sticking out of his fucking palm. It was crazy. Speaking of buttholes, there was one where the dude was like trying to grind down like the handrail of stairs, and then he like fell, and then he like fell on the rail at the very end on his butt, and it tore his butthole. They didn't show that, but like it tore his butthole. But anyway, Scarred was the shit. Of course, they like had a host, and they're like, this guy was doing this, and then this happened, and they show like the clips, and then they have the interview with the guy where it's like, yeah, like when it first happened, whatever. But they were like fucked up shit like that, where like they would show it, and it was like all sorts of crazy injuries and shit. That show was cool.
Yeah.
Anyways.
All right.
Have you told mom that you would watch 1,000 Ways to Die?
No.
I love telling mom. I love telling mom shit that like.
She's gonna see it on the.
Yeah, I'm gonna clip it.
She's gonna see it on the.
Yeah.
Yeah. She's gonna text me and be like,
"What the fuck?" What? That's the thing. That's what I was about to say. I love telling mom about shit we did when we were kids, because she still genuinely is like, "You did that?" Like,
the audacity,
right? And I'm like, first of all, that was 8 years ago already. Second of all, who fucking cares? Third,
it is what it is.
Come on, you thought I was perfect? Like, Like, mom just found out that I didn't go to first period for like my entire senior year of high school.
You didn't?
No,
That's
'Cause
funny.
she
What
had
was your first period?
well, she wrestling. She had a well.
Oh.
Here, let me explain. She had a presentation at a high school recently, and it was for the graduating seniors. And then we were kind of like, no, like they're gonna go to first period, and then the presentation is gonna start on second period. Blah 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 blah. And then we like me and started talking. He was there too, and he was helping. We
Yeah.
started talking about high school in general and this and that and whatever. And then eventually it came around, and I was like, yeah, I wouldn't even. We were talking about like attendance and shit, and I was like, nah, I wouldn't even go to first period when I was a senior, because I would get up and I would take you to flags because you had rehearsal in the morning. But the senior year was the only year that I wasn't in band, so I didn't have rehearsal in the morning, so I didn't have to be at school early. But Sophia
So
was
he had
still
to
in
just
flags,
wake up
so I just had to
early as
wake
fuck
up
for
and
no
take
reason.
Sophia because she couldn't drive, and we didn't have a car for her to take anyways. So I would wake up, I would take you, I would go back home, I would start getting ready, I would eat breakfast, I would go pick up the homie, and then we would go to class. And he didn't live like not really on the way to school, but not completely out of the way. Um, but it was cool. It was funny because I was telling them, I was like, yeah, I would always go and I would show up at second period. I wouldn't go to first period at all. But he always wanted me to give him a ride because he didn't want to take the bus. And I was cool with giving him a ride, like it wasn't too far out of my way. And he was like my best friend at the time. And then so I would go and I was like, I'm not going to second period. And he was like, I don't give a fuck. I'll skip first period. And he didn't have wrestling for first period like I did.
Oh my god.
But he would just skip and he didn't give a fuck.
What a dummy.
But it was cool. It was cool because I would give him a ride, and then he was on the wrestling team, but he didn't have wrestling for first period because he had football for eighth period. And then after school, after wrestling practice, I would give him a ride back home. But in the morning, he would always make breakfast, and then like he would provide breakfast, and I would provide the ride. Like
The
he'd be like,
ride.
but then he would call me every day, or he would text me every day, like it was a new
You
question.
picking me up?
And he was like, yo, can you pick me
You
up?
coming?
And I'm like, yeah. And
Yeah.
he's like, all right, how many burritos do you want? And I'm like, 2. And he's like, I bet. And then we go, and then I get off and he'd be fucking making burritos and shit, right? It was cool.
That's funny.
Anyways, I had wrestling first period. The wrestling program at my high school at the time was very like kind of half-assed. The wrestling coach was a football coach who did wrestling after football season. So we didn't have like a super formal dedicated program. Nobody did anything during first period. Everybody was just chilling. So I just wouldn't go to begin with. And then we'd have practice after school. I was telling all of that to my friend and to my mom, and she was like, you didn't go to first period your whole senior year? And I was like, that was 8 years
No.
ago, Mom.
I graduated
First of
already.
all, I
Like,
graduated.
It's fine.
Second of all, I
Like,
graduated well. Third of
Yeah.
all, I already have my degree in a career and shit. Like, what the fuck is the like? And she was like, I can't believe it. And like, she was telling people later that day, I just found out he didn't go to first period his whole senior year. And I'm like,
This lady.
how do you
She's so
genuinely
funny.
care? You know what happens way too often?
What?
I have to like resist the urge to like yell at mom and be like, Mom, who fucking cares? Because she'll get hung up on the smallest
Who
things.
cares?
I posted the clip about me hanging out with our cousin and us seeing the little Chapulín Colorado figurine at a
Yeah.
Mexican restaurant. And I did the auto subtitles and it spelled Chapulín wrong. And
Okay.
and she sent the fucking clip to me and she was like, Chapulín, spelling it the right way. And I was like, what about it? And she was like, it's spelled wrong in the video. And I was like, yeah, it was the auto subtitles. Deflect. And she was like, you know, you can adjust those auto subtitles, right? And I was like, I literally typed out, I was like, Mom, who cares? I was like, Mom, no one cares. Because I want to rage at her and like, Mom, it doesn't
She's just
fucking
doing
matter.
it out of the love and
No!
kindness of her
No,
heart.
fuck that bullshit. No, she's not.
She doesn't want us to look dumb.
No one thinks we look dumb. No one fucking. That's what I said. I
She
literally
does.
said. I was like, Mom, no one cares. And I know that's kind of a rude thing to say, but I don't know
To
what
your
else to
own
say
mother.
because that's what it is. What it is no one gives a fuck that it's misspelled, and it doesn't make any material difference ever in this situation, right? And I'm like, Mom, no one cares. But I like have to resist. I kind of slipped a little bit there because normally I wouldn't tell her straight up like that. But I'd like so like, I fucking drive me crazy. And then she goes, why are you calling me no one?
I told you she cares.
Obviously she cares. She's fucking making it a point to say something. And why
Anyways,
were we talking about first period?
I don't fucking know.
Oh, because Mom finds out shit that we did.
Oh yeah.
back in the day. And she's like, what?
Yeah.
Man, right?
Yeah.
It's funny. She gets all like, and like, whatever.
Yeah. She recently found out the video because we have a bunch of videos that haven't been posted like now. Like this video is
At
not
the
going to
time
be
of
posted
this
until
recording, we
at the
have a
time of
bunch
this
of
recording.
unreleased videos that are being released.
Yeah. And so the video of like our TikTok hits, whatever, came out pretty recently. And she just found out that I made a hole
on the catwalk.
on the catwalk in like our
in her house.
And she was like, what the heck? I'm like, but the thing is, people have been there to like take off like the popcorn ceiling and like paint, and they've been up like on the catwalk, and she's been up on there like when doing Christmas decorations. I was like, Mom, you've been up there, like you've seen it. And she was just like,
that was you.
yeah. And I was just like, what you gonna do? Kick me out of the house? I'm in my own apartment.
I have a job.
I have a job. It was funny. But yeah,
so
guys, something funny happened. When was it? I think it was Friday, actually. So I get home from a long day of work. I'm like, oh, so tired. I just want to sit down, eat dinner, and watch TV and decompress, right? So then I turn on the TV, and the thing's not working. And I'm like, what the helly? That's wrong. That's messed up. What's going on? Right? And so, like, I go on my phone, and then I realize, I know. And I go on my phone, I realize my phone's not working unless I take it off and like take the Wi-Fi off and use like my cellular data. And I was like, the Wi-Fi is down on there, right? So then I go to my Spectrum because I have Spectrum. I go to my Spectrum app and I like I click on like my Wi-Fi, and on the thing there's like a little red triangle and it's like issue router disconnected. And I was like, and I look to where my thing is, and I have two little like machine thingies, like two little boxes, and I was like, I don't know which one of these is the router, because like when I first got it all here, like my mom was still in town and she basically set it up for me, and I was just like, okay, cool. And then I just leave it there plugged in, don't touch it, it's been fine up until this past Friday, right? And so it's like router disconnected, and I was like, oh, and Eric, that is fuck, right? Then I call Oscar. I FaceTime him.
Oscar.
Him, Oscar.
I'm Oscar.
And I'm like, hey, I need a man right now because I'm just the girly pop and I don't know man things. So then I was like, my Wi-Fi's disconnected. It says it's the router's a problem, but I don't know which one's the router. What do I do? Which one's the router? And then I show him, like, I'm on FaceTime. I switch the camera and then show him, like, the two little boxes. I was like, which one of these do I, like, need to fuck with? And then he was like, I don't know which one the router is.
And then she fucking yelled at me.
And then I yelled at him.
She was like, what the fuck? You're fucking useless. Aren't you supposed to be a man?
I was like, you're supposed to know these things.
It's fucking
and
whack.
Then he was just like, ugh.
And then I was like, I'm pretty sure it's that one. And then I was like, did you try just unplugging everything and plugging it back in? And she was like, oh no.
I was like, no, but I will. And then I did, and it wasn't working. And I was like, fuck, whatever. Got to pull out the bug guns. I was like, I'm gonna hang up on you. I need to find a real man. And then I called our dad.
Wrong. I told her to call him. Anyways.
No, but it's funnier the way I said it.
Yeah.
Because he was like, you need to find a real man. Call our dad.
No, I didn't. I didn't say that.
I
don't like. You know what I don't like. You know what I don't like about my sisters. My sisters are not the most ladylike girls you'll ever meet, and I'm fine with that.
Such a lady.
Fine with that. But don't fucking talk to me about not being the typical male archetype. All right. I know. First of all, when it comes to typical male stuff, I know a lot of shit. All right. Wi-Fi is one of my Achilles heels. Right. Mm-hmm. I know a lot of shit, which is why she called me. Mm-hmm. This motherfucker right here on the screen. This motherfucker on the screen. She can't cook. She can't clean. Everything's a mess. I just don't like it. She's mean. I just don't like it, so I don't do it. My feelings are always hurt around her. She's not a fucking lady.
She's a bitch.
You know what I mean? She's not a fucking lady, but she's bitching at me for not being a man. You know what I mean? Like, whack.
So then bitch at me for not being a lady and stop.
I did.
Moving
for a
on.
long time. I gave up on you. I don't know if you always fail to acknowledge that I used to bitch at you a lot more about ladylike shit, and I don't do that shit no more.
Anyways, I needed a real man, so I called my dad, and I was like,
then he didn't know. No, I'm just kidding. He knew.
Yeah, and then I called him, and I was like, which one of these is the router? He's like, that one. And I was like, okay, what do I do? And he's like, did you unplug it and plug it back in? And I was like, was like,
I fucking
yeah,
told
but
you.
it's not working. I was like, yeah, but it's not working. He's like, trying to get it. I was like, okay. So then I did it. And then it kind of still wasn't working. And I was like, oh, like, I don't know what to do. Like, what could be wrong? And then he's like, go to the like Spectrum thing and read me exactly like what it says. And so like I went to the Spectrum thing. And then I was like about to start reading the thing, but then it went away. And then I looked at the little box
started working.
And it started working. And I was like, perfect. This is great. Okay, cool. Thanks. I'll talk to you later. He's like, bye. And so whoa. So then I hang up on him. And then I FaceTimed Oscar again. And I was like, hey, Big Oscar fixed it. He just told me to do what you told me to do. Like, I was like, gonna tell him
No,
this.
you didn't.
But as soon he told me what you told me to do, yeah, he
You
told me
didn't
to unplug and plug
FaceTime
it
me
back
again
in.
after that.
I was in the middle of FaceTime you. Like, I went to,
You
like,
went to
FaceTime you.
FaceTime me.
I went to FaceTime him.
You said
and
I
was gonna tell-
FaceTimed him.
Oh
again.
my god, Oscar, you're like mom right now, getting hung up on all those stupid little
No,
details.
the way you
Okay?
phrased it, you're saying that you did something you didn't do.
Okay, anyways, I went to FaceTime him.
I'm just like my mother.
Yes. Anyways, I went to FaceTime him, and I was gonna be like, hey, he told me to do the same thing as you. Like, we're Gucci gang. Like,
You are a man.
you are a man. But then, as soon as I was going, like, I like got to his contact thing, it stopped working again. And I was like, what the fuck? And then I called Big Oscar, and I was gonna be like, it's not working again. And as soon as I called Big Oscar again, it started working. And I was like, I think the universe is telling me that
Not
Oscar's
to call
just
it
not a
Oscar.
man. Yeah. It's not the way it is. So then I was like, okay.
Fuck you,
and then
universe.
I didn't FaceTime you again after that, and it worked perfectly fine. And I was like, I'm gonna tell him when we're fucking recording.
Oh, fuck your Wi-Fi.
And the
Stupid.
universe.
Anyways,
But yeah.
that's
Anyways.
not nice.
Isn't that funny? Like,
Yeah, that is kind of funny. I think that was funny. I think it was funny where I was like, she's not a lady. She doesn't cook. She can't cook. She doesn't clean. She's not nurturing. She's so mean to me. Like,
I think it was funny when you're like, she's not a lady. She can't cook. I can cook. I just don't like it. She doesn't clean. I can clean. I just don't like it, so I don't do it.
I like
Like,
cooking. What are you talking about?
No. You were saying those things, and I
Yes.
was saying,
Oh, you
I
were
can
thinking to
cook.
yourself.
no. I literally said it. You'll watch back and you'll see it.
Oh,
But it's
you
funny.
literally
like,
said it.
Yeah, you were
She
just
can't cook.
ignoring me.
She can't cook. She knows how
I
to cook like
can.
4 things.
I can. No, I know how to cook several things. That's more than 4. I know how to cook a lot of things.
Anyways, speaking
have-
of that water Sophia's drinking, let me tell you guys. Sophia, if you've watched more than 2 episodes of this podcast, you know that I like to make fun of Sophia. Or a lot of my ideas are just me making fun of Sophia, right? A lot of my topics. But she's so fucking funny, but not in like a she's trying to be funny and like it's commendable funny. Like she just does shit that's just so ridiculous to me.
I'm
But
just
it's
so
like
naturally funny.
it's just like hilarious. Because there's not
Body,
anything
and
wrong, but
soul.
it's just interesting to me how different like where our minds are, right? Sophia was
I
explaining
have
to
no
me
idea
the
where
other
this
day.
is coming.
You're gonna figure it out. Sophia was explaining to me the other day about the things that she does to prepare for the next day. Right?
I know where this is going.
The things she'll
Yeah.
do to prepare for
Yeah.
for the coming day, right? And
Yeah,
I get that.
yeah.
I try to do that. I think I need to do way fucking more of that so that at the end of the
You
day I
should.
can
It's
kind of
life
chill.
changing.
No, so I should do it so that at the end of the day I can just like stop worrying like, okay, this is what I need to do. I'm going to do it tomorrow. Today's done. But then also the next morning when I get up, instead of being like, what do I do? It's like, motherfucker, right here, do it, right? Anyways, so sometimes what I'll do is if I'm going to get up and go to the gym right away, I'll leave the gym clothes that I'm going to wear on the nightstand. I'll wake up, I'll put it on before I even get up. Then I'll get up, go, whatever. Sophia was telling me, she's like, yeah, like sometimes I got to wake up early and like I want
Most days.
to do the least amount of effort, least amount of work possible, right?
So that I can sleep in more because I love sleep.
Oh yeah, and streamline the process so it's like quick, right?
Yeah.
Sophia leaves the clothes she's gonna wear on the floor next to the toilet.
Yep. So that when I take my morning shit,
So she gets
I'm
up
shitting
to take
and
her morning
dressing.
shit and she goes and she gets dressed on the toilet,
Yep.
which is
Yep.
perfectly viable.
It
But it's
saves
so
so much
funny to
time.
me because it's like, just put it next to your bed and just get dressed immediately when you get out of bed. Like,
No, but when you do both, you save more time.
Maybe a little bit. Okay,
You
fine.
do, you do.
Okay. Whatever.
You do.
Whatever. Hilarious to me. I don't know if it's just me. She was also telling me about how she tries to drink a certain amount of water every day.
Yeah.
So one of the things
'Cause
she
I'm
does
bad
in
at
the
drinking
morning,
water.
first thing she does in the morning is she chugs that whole fucking
Whole-
bottle of water that she has right
Not this one. Like I
now.
have like bottles like this.
Okay, never
So I'll
mind.
chug a whole one of these.
Okay. Anyways, and so she was telling me, she's like, so I try to chug one like as soon as like first thing in the morning, like before I even get out of bed, like I just chug it just to kind of get out of the way, kind of wakes me up a bit, whatever. She's like, but the thing is like in the morning, you know how you wake up and you're like so tired because like you just woke up, and she's like, a lot of times I'll wake up and I'll be so tired and I'll be so weak that I can't even open the bottle.
Like I'll try, like I can, but I really have to try for it. Like I really have
I
to.
can't
Like,
even open the bottle. So
yeah.
the night before, I just open it and I leave it open
With there.
on the
So I
fucking.
just.
I thought it was the
'cause I
big bottle.
didn't-
It was funnier in my head with the big bottle.
No.
Oh.
Because I can't open the stupid. Like I can, but like it just takes more effort, and that's effort and time I don't want to spend in the morning. So then, because I tried to do that, right? I put the water there, like right in front of like my bag, and I was like, I'm just gonna drink it. Put my lunchbox in the thing. It'll be cool, right? But then I grabbed it, and then I like tried to open it, and then it was like hard, and I'm like, man, fuck this water. And then I like tossed it on the couch, and I was like, the universe is just telling me not today. And then I put the lunchbox in the fridge, and then I like moved on with my.
You know what else she'll do? You know what else she'll do?
What? What?
She puts her keys in her lunchbox in the fridge.
Like on top of my lunchbox in the fridge.
On top of the lunchbox in the fridge, so that she can't forget her lunch.
Yeah.
It's like she can't leave without the keys. So the only way she'll get the keys is if she opens the fridge and sees the lunchbox, and then she'll take the lunch with her. Here's the thing. Here's the thing about this type of shit Sofia does. It makes logical sense.
I'm a logical person.
But it's just not the way that I would do something.
Because you're not a logical
It's just so funny to me. No, I am a logical person, but I don't know. Like I have my keys on the key hook, and that's where they are every day, and that's where I put them. If they're not in my pocket, and they're in there. If they're not in my pocket, they're there. And if I'm here in the apartment, they're not in my pocket. They're there. They're only in my pocket when I leave. You know what I mean? So they're always there. You know what I mean? But like I'll have like systems like that where like that's where my keys go. That's where my wallet goes. This is where that goes. That's where this goes. Blah 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 blah. But like in the fridge with the fucking it's so funny. Anyway.
It's because I don't do actually. Hate to break it to you, I actually don't do that anymore. But for the longest time, I did. Yeah. Just because it first happened when I first started to go to work, and like I didn't have money. She first started
working at a hospital, no?
When I first started working at a hospital, I wasn't used to taking lunch. But like if you keep buying lunch instead of like taking and cooking yourself, that gets really expensive. But I would make lunch, but then I would forget it because I was like, I never would have to do that, and I was like, I need to stop fucking forgetting my lunch, because then I'm just like either hungry because I didn't eat, or like broke because I keep paying and buying like lunch in the cafeteria or whatever. So then I started putting my keys on my lunchbox. But I'm like used to it now. Like I don't leave the apartment without my lunch.
Anyways.
So, but I did used to do that. Yeah.
Quick little side note. This is my last topic, so you better have shit to talk about. I was at the gym this week, and I was walking to get the little paper towel so I could wipe down the bench. I clean the stuff after I use it because
he's a sweaty bitch.
Responsible, right?
And yeah.
I was walking to the thing, and there's these two people walking by, kind of just crossing paths sort of thing, right? Not gonna say who they were, but I couldn't hear the conversation, and then as I got closer, I could start to hear the conversation, but like they were walking this way and I was walking this way, so then like once they passed me, like I can't really hear them very much at all, right?
Yeah.
And there's music and shit. So right when I can start to hear them, one of them was like, "You hate what?" Like clearly he had said that he hates something, and the dude didn't hear him. And now he's saying, "You hate what?"
You hate what?
And then the other dude was like, "Autism, bro. My girl's autistic." And they were saying it as they were passing me. And I was what the fuck is going on?
It's definitely one of those conversations that's super out of context.
And here's the thing. I don't hate autism. But it was just completely like, what the fuck is that conversation? What's going on? Why is he dating
What
her?
did his
What is
girlfriend
it
do?
like? Yeah, what did she do? Like, how do you hate it, but you're still with her? Like, you know what I mean? Like,
He hates it for her.
how romantic. Anyways,
nah, probably not. But
that shit was
I
so
think
funny
it
to
was
me.
just
I
super
tried,
out
but
of
here's the
context.
thing. They were right fucking
You were
there.
like,
They were
trying to
right
hear.
fucking there, so I had to not fucking laugh and just like and keep fucking walking. But in my head, I
could've
was like,
laughed.
"What the fuck?" Like,
You could have laughed, and if they looked at you weird, you could have just been like, "Sorry, bro, that just caught me off guard."
nah, I could
Wasn't
have been
meaning
like,
to
"Sorry,
eavesdrop.
I'm on the phone like with someone, not listening to you at all." Anyways,
Nah. You say you were listening, and then you make conversation. Then you make friends,
nah,
and then you can go to the mall with them on the weekends and forget about me.
nah. I'm nice. I wouldn't do that. Anyways,
Anyways,
So yeah, that happened.
yeah,
That was hilarious.
So yeah,
It was hilarious because it's like it's the type of shit like you're kind of more used to hearing it in like a show, like a Rick and Morty type shit. You know what I mean? Like within the context of it's a TV show, it's kind of supposed to be raunchy or rude or this or crude or this or that. Like, okay, this was a real person talking to another real person right fucking there in public.
Another real person.
About another real person right there in public. And I was like, what the fuck?
What the heck?
Yeah. It was fucking hilarious. Though.
What the hell? I have one more thing and we're going to talk about it and it's going to take up the rest of the time.
Oh, shit. Okay.
Guys, honestly, by the time you see this, I'm sure this isn't even going to be relevant anymore. Or it might be. Who knows? We'll see. I don't know how quick or whatever. But, Oscar, have you heard of two things? There's two things and they're connected. You'll see why right now. Have you heard about the Sydney Sweeney bathwater soap thing? Oh my god, he has a Sydney Sweeney.
No. Obviously, I've heard about it.
Okay. Fuck. Have you heard about the Sabrina Carpenter album cover that she just she literally just I think like this past week she released the cover. Okay, it's called Man's Best Friend. And it's Sabrina Carpenter in this bodycon dress. The one with the dog? The one where she's kneeling on all fours, and then this dude, you can't see his face, but you see kind of like his thumb of his leg, and then like he's just has her hair in his hand, like he's walking her like a leash type thing.
Oh, damn!
But she's like there, like all sexy, like looking all pretty and stuff.
Yeah.
Okay. Now that you have the visuals.
No, I looked it up, but yeah, I get you.
Yeah. Okay, cool. Okay.
I did see that picture, but I didn't realize it was the album cover.
It's the album cover. So Sydney Sweeney did the bathwater thing first, right? And when that happened, women specifically were upset. They were like, "Oh my god!"
It's just like she said,
it's objectifying. Like this set us back like 100 years, 1,000 years. Like upset, right?
Yeah.
And then Sabrina Carpenter did that, and people started saying the same thing. Oh my god! Like I thought she was a good one. Like, she's setting us back like 100 years and this and that. And I'm like, bruh. And like, I don't know if I'm the only one that sees it this way. Because there's a lot more. Like with Sydney Sweeney, it was just like, oh, yeah, setting us back. There wasn't any like back and forth. Generally speaking, people were just like, disgusted by it, right?
Yeah. Well,
the Sabrina Carpenter, girls, yeah. Yeah. So with the Sabrina Carpenter album, people are like back and forth. They're like, no. You know Sabrina, she's kind of trying to make it be like satire kind of thing. But then other people are, it's a satire thing.
Set up, she's going to come out of right field with it kind of thing. Like,
yeah. And then other people are like, you clearly don't know what satire is. That's not satire. If you have to question whether or not it's satire and you don't just know it's satire, it's not satire. And it's like this whole back and forth. And then people are like, no, but haven't you heard her last song? That's going to be on the album. Or is he stupid? Or maybe slow. That one, right?
Yeah. Man-Child.
And so people are like, Man-Child, yeah.
I haven't heard it, but I know that's a song.
Oh, Man-Child. It's just like shitting on a guy, basically.
I mean,
right?
It's fucking Sabrina Carpenter. Like,
and so people are like, bro, like, give it some time. Like,
let her cook.
You like let her cook, basically. But people are like, no, like she went about it the wrong way. This and that. Like it's so like just for views. It's very male gaze and this and that. And I'm like, bro. And it's so frustrating to me because I'm like, you guys are like saying this whole it's setting us back 100 years or whatever. I'm like, you're just calling her like, but you're just using it in a more like
you're saying it indirectly and like politely.
You know what I mean? And you know what? Regardless if she is gonna cook with it or like it is just like, yep, I like being dominated by guys. Who fucking cares? isn't the whole point,
Isn't she
like the
supposed
way
to
I
be
see it,
able to
the whole
say that?
point, exactly, the whole point of feminism is to do whatever a man can. Like it's or not whatever I
To
can,
do
like
whatever
it's
you
equal.
want.
To do whatever you want.
Whether that's what the
Whether
man
it's
wants, whether that's what the girls want, whether that's this or that.
and I'm like, bro, because don't you remember? I don't know if you remember this,
I
but
don't
Jacob
remember.
Elordi came up, or I think is it Jacob Elordi? I think it's Jacob Elordi. Came up with the bathwater soap. Do you remember that movie? Okay, Jacob Elordi, he's a character in a movie,
Yeah,
right? He drinks it off in the bathtub, and then he leaves. He drains the water. Some dude that was watching him, but Jacob Elordi didn't know, goes and then he starts sucking up the bathwater. He's like, right, and people were like, "Oh my god!" Like,
oh, I didn't
haha,
know that was
like
the scene. Like I didn't
that
know
was
that.
the thing.
I knew it was something with bathwater, and it was Jacob Elordi and what's his face Barry. But
Yeah,
I
yeah,
like
yeah.
whatever.
Didn't know. That's the context of the scene. And then he came out with a thing. Like I think I'm not sure if there was candles. I think it might have been soap, but like
And it
he
was
came
like,
out with a thing called like bath, like the same thing. And women were like, everyone was like, "Oh my god, that's great! Like I want to smell the candle. I want to what? Like I can't
yes,
remember what
the
it was, but it was a
bathwater, woohoo!
product.
Yeah,
Yeah, and I'm like, y'all are like, where was this energy when they did that? Like y'all were eating that shit up. So if the whole point of like feminism is to do whatever you want to do, why are you shitting on another woman for doing her thing? You know what I mean? Like even if it is whatever, you know how much fucking money she's making off that shit? Fuck yeah. Bring in the like, you know what I mean? Like you're all here like women need to support other women unless they're being. It's annoying. It's frustrating. I don't get why people are so like about it. I'm like, you're part of the problem. You're part of boxing people in. Let them live their lives.
welcome
Yeah.
to being a man, Sofia. We can't figure these bitches out either.
You can't call us a bitch. Fuck you.
I didn't call you
Anyways.
that. I'm calling them the the ones.
Anyways, no, but do you get what I mean?
Yeah, I get what
Like,
you mean.
am I the only one that's seeing it like this? Like,
Sofia, here's the main reason why I stay out of political topics.
because you're a man.
No,
Oh,
because people are fucking stupid. The average
yeah.
person is so dumb that it's not even worth your fucking time and care and effort to argue with them. They're so dumb.
You know,
Have you like?
yeah.
And here's the thing: you work in customer service, or you kind of work in like hospitality, right? Healthcare. But
Yeah.
here's the thing: I thought people were dumb before I even
Before.
met them, right? I took pre AP and AP classes in high school, right? I took my
Yeah.
first and only regular class my senior year in economics. Oh my god, people were so dumb in that class, right? And then I worked in fucking customer service, like as a loan officer, a financial advisor, and shit. Oh my god, people are fucking dumb. Like it's amazing the type of shit that people don't know, and the type of like the fact that people are still alive and paying their bills, but they don't know how to do this, this, and that, and they don't know what this shit is and how that works. Like people are dumb as fuck, and it's not worth arguing with them.
But the thing is, I feel like it also brings up this whole because there has been like this whole like discourse with like being like a housewife, and like a lot of like kind of like more like feminazis are like, no, like you shouldn't do that. You're like, oh, why
You're
would
setting
you
us
do
back.
that?
You're dragging us
not.
down. You're this.
You're
The
keeping us
problem
back.
the problem is anyone who thinks it's their place to tell other people what to do with their lives or how to lead their life.
Yeah.
That's the
Like,
problem. Whether you're
and
a stay-at-home mom who's telling other people to be at stay-at-home moms, go fuck yourself. Do what you want to do. That's cool. Stop
and
telling other
accept what
people what they
everyone else
should do.
wants.
Right?
And you don't
The
have to
girls
do
that
what they
sleep
do.
with
You just
everyone,
leave it.
the girls that sleep with everyone, telling all the other girls, you need to sleep with everyone too. Shut up. Do what you
Just
want to
let
do
everyone live their
and
life.
let them do what they want to do. You know what I mean?
And
That's
you
the
know what?
biggest
And
problem.
like, and the thing is, you don't even have to be so like supportive about it. You don't have to be like,
You don't have to like
yeah.
it.
You don't have to like it.
You
But
can
stop shitting on it
disagree.
because that's part of the problem. Like, you know.
Part of the I think the main problem is just it's not up to you. It's not your place, right? It's not your
But yeah.
place to tell everybody else who they need to be or who they're supposed to be or this or that or whatever the fuck. Especially
Yeah.
if you're too fucking dumb to understand the difference between this is the right thing to do and this is your right to do it, right? There isn't
Yeah.
quote unquote, there isn't necessarily a right thing to do in every scenario. There's just you do this, they do that. Neither one of you is right or wrong. If you don't understand that concept, you shouldn't be telling anybody what to do.
Yeah. But yeah,
So you
it's a
gonna buy
whole
that bathwater soap?
it's a whole thing. It's funny people say that there's a hole in it
There
on
isn't.
TikTok. There isn't. Oh, okay. But
No,
people have
no.
been
I
joking
saw
around. No,
videos.
no, I
I
don't need
saw
to know more.
videos
I don't
where
need
they
to
were
know
like,
more.
where they
You
were
can leave
like,
that.
they were like unboxing the Sydney Sweeney soap, and then they open it up and they're like, "What the fuck?"
What's it called? No, yeah, there isn't. People have been trolling, or from my understanding, as of now, there isn't. People have been trolling it, like saying there is, and like cutting like a hole in a soap thing, but like that's not how it came. But no, yeah, that's the whole thing, and I'm just like, ugh, and it's just so annoying. You know what I mean? I'm
It's annoying because no, it feels like
like it
you're
would be
never
different
making progress.
because no matter which way you go, it's just wrong. You know what I mean?
It's like
But
one
I was
step
gonna
forward, two
say,
steps back in every direction, over and over and over again. Like,
and my thing is like, it's different if like you're in like an abusive relationship and he's making you stay at home and like you feel so like uh that you have to stay at home, like, you know what I mean, and it's like, nah, fuck that, you don't gotta do it. Like if it's more that, it's like, yeah, don't do that because you don't want to do that, but that's because you don't want to do it. You know, the whole thing with like Brittany, and she shaved her head and it was like a whole thing,
I
and
know
then
it's a
some dude was like,
thing.
and some dude was like, you remember how some dude was like, leave Brittany alone, and it's like that was kind of like a thing.
No, I never
That was a thing.
kept up or
Okay.
dove into any
Well,
of
that
Britney's
that was
thing.
a thing. There's a video of like one of her fans, like, and he's like crying and he's like, leave Brittany alone. That's how I feel with Sydney Sweeney and Sabrina Carpenter right now. I'm like, let them alone. Like, leave them alone. We'll see you next time. Thanks for watching. Goodbye bye.
But